Chilo Wanatonadol, Tony Niel, DJ Dingarang, Jagda Lord, Yanapin. Padina Majaga, Jideng, Makwaga, or Tony Parrot, Ye, Mother Wounded, I would meet Pandania. I thought it was Mutunga, Tony, Padina Majaga. Anyar ke berbuat baik, ijit sekolah ikapi, najong cedera, mami bajet, ayi pingi kielo. Padina majaga cide ngemakwaga wajon berat, iye mana uni gaya budimit. Pandeni ya rul, ayi toni tuan potong ke toni, padina majag. Anyar ke berbuat baik, ijit sekolah ikapi. Jom cedera, mami bajet, ayi pingi kielo. Padina majaga cide ngemakwaga wajon berat, iye mana uni gaya budimit. Pandeni ya rul, ayi toni tuan potong ke toni, padina majag. Anyar ke berbuat baik, ijit sekolah ikapi, jom cedera, mami bajet, ayi pingi kielo. Pinyaban, India then, Paniri Juno. Ayora Magot, Anmadin Majak, Mati, Injina Tokutia, Injiwa. Ayora Jema, Mana Jula, Joda, Inayo, Ajibia Binyaki, Ibon Jagalo, I need Pino again. And Bayanina Gajalia, Paniri Chenya.
Okay, welcome guys. Good evening. I hope you guys are hearing me. Thank you for tuning in to Lake Media and South Sudan Media and to Madin Majak Talk Show. Good evening and good night and good morning wherever you are. So we are live today on 4 media channel, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, and also on Twitter. So those of you tuning in, thank you. So it's been a while. I have not come because we have been our life. We are busy here in America, so I don't have time to mostly come to do a talk show. But what brings me to the live show today is regarding about the trending news that for the last 24, 36 hours, you guys know the convention or the meeting that took place in Addis Ababa, and President Salva Kiir attended that. There is so much propaganda, okay? Propaganda. So much marking president, okay? Insult the president in social media. For the last 24 by the opposition supporters. This is not right here, you know. This is not right. So I condemn those people who are doing this. This is not fair to the president. This is not fair to the country. For those of you who are doing this, you should be ashamed. A shame on you, okay? A shame on you. You guys know exactly who is the President Salva Kiir Mayardit, okay? This man is image of our Republic of South Sudan. You should respect him regardless. For you, come in social media okay, insult him is not a politic. Okay, it is not a politic. It is a personal attack. And those of you are doing this, it is disturbing, is condemnable, and you guys don't have a place in our heart, in our country. It's called Republic of South Sudan. The president is image of the nation. Any president around the world, the citizens have to respect regardless. If you are a citizen, if you claim yourself you are a member, you are a citizen of the Republic of South Sudan, you should respect the head of the state, which is President Salva Kiir Mayardit. And for you guys, for the last 36 hours, many of you do a live video on Facebook, doing a talk show on Clubhouse for the last 36 hours. Just insult the president. Health is not a crime. If president is going through the health issues, it's not for you to come in public to marking president. Okay. So now the video that you guys circulate in the media and you marking, you talk all of this nonsense. And I have two people that they do talk show and they call me out. Two people they do a talk show today on Facebook Live and they call me out. And these two people I will mention their name. One is Dr. Quinn, who is a member of Agwelek. And number two, Edward Sheikh. Edward Sheikh just finished a live video like a few minutes ago on his media platform. And he having a room in Clubhouse as we speak. Okay. The label has, Madid has a young lead, has a JCE. Huh? Yeah, partner, the reason why we, or I, Madid, always be in social media defend the nation or defend the president from this maniac in social media. It's not because, I'm benefit from the system or anything that I'm getting from the government. That's what they are saying. They say Madid is getting paid from the government of South Sudan. Hell no. Madid is not getting any dime. Seen. But I am happy when we got our independence in 2011. I was among of the people who doing volunteering work to mobilize all the South Sudanese to go on board to get our independence as a nation. Nothing you should be proud of to have your own country. President Salva Kiir Mayardit is a wonderful person, is a liberator. He's a warrior that who fought for the last 21 years during his childhood, during his youthhood, to get our independence. For you guys, come out in social media and insult him. You are not insult President Salva Kiir. You are insult what South Sudan stand for. You are insult the 2.5 million South Sudanese who love their life, shed their life for their country. You think that you are insult the president? No, you are not insult the president. You are insult the nation. Because the president is the nation, is image for the nation of South Sudan. So you call yourself as a opposition for the of the government. So what are the change? What the benefit? What change can you bring to the table that the people of South Sudan can support you? What I'm seeing you are offering the table is an insult, marking the leaders, tribal politics. Everything you see is a dinga, dinga, dinga. That's what are you bringing table? Who's gonna buy that? Who's gonna buy that ship? Okay, let me send you. Let me send you the link. Hang on, guys. Let me play the music so I can send the link to my co-host.
Santo, man Kolnyang, Mike, Sholgrangawan, Yuping Yarul Pandit Shet Maniel, Anaketon Niel, Zillo, Winetonadol. I think a kick, Kega Buka, Devo, Anyalia, dear Kuika Pingrin, Gemana, when I jang along, I jedu Kega Parami, Madina Maja, Kubo, the Makur, Kega Bolikan, Kuaita Jam, Wagari, Kegela, Emmanuel, when you go, I think a kick, Kega Buka.
Get your inbox So, yeah, Junubin. President Salva Kiir Mayardit. Those of you, I'm responding to Edward Sheikh and Dr. Ukuny. Dr. Ukuny, you are a member of Jajamer. You should be the last person to come in social media to attack President Salva Kiir. Because you are one of Jajamer, you are in the book, you see everything, you know President Salva Kiir. So you should be the last person to attack President Salva Kiir personally. Dr. Ukuny. Yeah, I'm not going to talk a lot about Edward Sheikh. Edward Sheikh, he was not in the bush before. He's one of the persons who stay in Khartoum. So he don't know what President Salva Kiir did to this country to get our independence. What sacrifice did President Salva Kiir did? President Salva Kiir sacrificed everything. And I'm playing this picture image. That image that I show you is a president himself. During the Bush time, he never seen the Bush time until now, because he have the vision that to get our nation, to get us out, and give us our own platform today. Give the freedom that Edward Sheikh and the Dokuny have the freedom to speak. Without sacrifice for President Salva Kiir, those Edward Sheikh, those Dr. Ukuny, and the rest of opposition supporters who are criticizing President and marking President Salva Kiir in social media will not be in the places they are in today, whether they're in America, in Australia, or Canada. So the country, Sudan, government of the day. Okay, you can disagree with the policy of the government of the day, of the policy of President Salva Kiir, for you to go to attack him. You marking and you think that okay, the other nation, other country are marking president. No, you are not. If you are patriot enough, you should the one who defend your own president from others. But no, you are the one who come in social media to market president, to attack president. So who are you? So who are you exactly? Are you a South Sudanese? Any country that you are saying, those of you, most of you are in America, Edward Sheikh and Dr. Ukuny, you guys are in the United States. Okay? And let me give you guys an example. One president, Joe Biden, having a health issues because he lose memory, he cannot function well. Have you seen the Republican supporters come out in social media marking president? Because during the time, the Democrats are the one who ruling who are in the power. and Republican are the opposition. Have you ever seen the Republican supporters came out in public in social media marking Joe Biden? Or for now, currently President Trump? Have you seen and supporters of Democrat came out in social media marking, insult President Trump? And you know that this country is a land of freedom. You have the freedom of speech, but the people of the United States never come out in public to attack, insult their own president. They're proud. What Americans stand for are two things. They're proud for their president. They're proud for their flag. But none of you opposition. You have nothing. You don't are proud for the flag. You even burning the flag. You insult the president. And you call yourself you are a change for the nation. This is the condemnable at Junubin. So I'm really outraged for the last 36 hours seeing how they marking our president. It is outrage. If you are South Sudanese, are you proud of South Sudanese? You should not. You should be proud the sacrifice the President Salva Kiir did in that nation. President can come and go. The country will remain. So there's politics that you got, the dirty politics that you guys play, the tribal politics you guys play, it is not representing our nation image. You are destroying our country. You are destroying our social fabric, and we are destroying our leaders. So that is our topic. Let me welcome my co-host, Majok Makur. Majok, how are you? Good evening. So you have seen Majok for the last 36 hours, how our South Sudanese talk in social media, marking our president. So go ahead, take the floor. Majok, can you hear me? Majok Makur, can you hear me? Can you open your mic? Okay, let me know, Majok, if you are around. So you can open your mic, Majok. Majok, can you hear me? Okay, so let me see. Yeah, Majok, you cannot. Your mic is closed. I don't know what's wrong with your mic. If you can hear me, open your mic.
Yeah, Abramadit.
Yes.
How are you?
I am good. How you doing? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm a little bit busy now. If you don't mind, you can proceed. And once I'm free, I will let you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the things, Yapana, those are the things that I was talking about, because, you know, Sudan, it is a country that killed a lot of millions of people are displaced because of that country. Okay. And let me see here. We have Sudan. Okay. Million people, all of us, majority of us are displaced in other countries. Okay. Because of the war that happened 43 or 20 years ago. 2.5 million has died because of that country. Now, I know the country is going through a lot of challenges, but opposition have taken a wrong path that destroy the image for the country. They are not here for any changes. So now, the campaign that they are doing, anything that they see, the health of president, this is how they are talking about right now. and they think this is the way that they will remove president from the power. President Salva Kiir will only be removed from the office through election, not by mocking him, not by insulting him. If you are disagree with the president and you say that the president is not doing a good job, okay, create your own party, register your party, coming election, go and campaign. And then people of South Sudan can see what what are you capable of, what you should do differently than President Salva Kiir government. Now people will vote for you. And instead of you coming insulting them. Okay. Respect is very important. Respect the president. And I know these two individuals, if they don't respect their own king, how come they will respect President Salva Kiir? Because the image of the king, Shulu king, and they insult the king, same way they insult the president. What if you cannot respect your own leaders or elderly? Because in our Dinka culture that we respect the elder because they are close to God. Okay. Even though you disagree with them, you should disagree respectfully, not just coming out and marking, trashing, tarnish his name, tarnish his everything that president stand for. The reason why we stand with president, or the reason why I stand with president, support the president, is not because what he gave it to me. It's no. President have fought for his life, entire life, for my freedom, for the freedom of my children, and the freedom of my grandchildren. Okay. President give us our freedom. That alone, we should stand with them regardless until the time comes when he will leave the power, and then the next president can come in. That's how he's supposed to do. Okay. And my message to those opposition leaders, I'm calling Realize PLM, Yoropakana Mom, I'm calling Akwelek. If your member doing this negative assault to the head of the country, please advise your people not to do that. Okay? This is not how you play the politics. It's not the way how you play politics. Okay? The house of president, we know president is not in good health, but this is not the way that you should come in social media to market him. And then you think that you are doing a good thing for the country. You call yourself you are opposition. Even your own family member cannot agree with what you are doing. So we have to respect our president regardless. You can disagree with his policy. This is how the good politics play. You can disagree with his policy. You will come out with your policy. You have a good card to play to attack president office and his government. You will say, President, the country is in a lot of mess. The country, there's a lot of corruption going on in the country. There's no development. There's no road. There's no masajfa, no hospital, no clinic, no good school. People are starving to death. People are dying every day because there's no good hospital. These are the good cards that you can play. And the people of South Sudan will listen to you, not his personality. You already lost. Now, for the last few weeks ago, they came out and they were campaigning that they are marching to Juba. This is where they're talking about they are marching to Juba. When the government respond, because you cannot just say that you are marching to Juba by mobilizing the White Army and IO and the NAS, and then you say that you are going to overthrow the government. SSPTF is there. They have protect the constitution of the nation. Any threat coming from anywhere within the country or outside, they will respond. SSPDF respond to their aggressiveness. They respond and they neutralize the threat. Okay? Now they are crying social media. Oh, government is killing the civilian. You cannot carry AK-47, threatening killing, displaying thousand civilian. You said that you are you are a civilian. No. So for those of you, let me know if you are available to come. So those of you, some of you are sending me a message that you want to come, you guys want to join the show. Let me see if I can give you guys chance to. So let me put the link on the comment section and click the link and you can be able to come join us in the studio. And those of you in Clubhouse, I will not open the areas yet.
Yes,
so,
Abraham.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Now I put the link down. You can click that and the other. Yeah, go ahead, Majok. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Abraham. I hope clear.
Yeah, you are clear. Majok, you are clear. Yes.
All right. Thank you. First of all, let me greet our audience and the viewers, both Clubhouse and on Facebook. Secondly, thank you, Abraham, for creating room to address the concern that has been ongoing for the last 2 days on social media. Secondly, am I clear? It seems like my network is having some issues.
No, you are clear. You are clear. We can hear you. You're good.
Okay, good. All right. Secondly, Abraham, is very unfortunate for South Sudanese not to distinguish between personalities, aging, health issues with the politics. For the last 2 days, personally, I've been disappointed by many South Sudanese, especially the oppositions, even those who are currently in Juba, and those who are serving the current leadership of the SPLM. And I believe you have seen some of the messages through WhatsApp groups or even messengers. Those who did not come out and speak on Facebook.
Okay, we cannot hear you, Majok. Your network cut off. Majok, check your network connection. We cannot hear you. Majok, try to see your connection. I think you are talking to us. You probably cannot hear me. Try to see if you can If you can check your network connection. Okay, let me remove this one down. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now it's good. Yeah.
Yep, sorry, my network was having some issues. Yep. Yeah, I was saying, Abraham Adit, most of South Sudanese who were TikTok, Clubhouse, or X, which was formerly known as TikTok, were also doing the same things on inbox. And that tells you that many South Sudanese failed to differentiate between what is happening in someone's life and politics. All of us, we can agree, despite the challenges our country is going through, none of us can say it unequivocally that South Sudan is at the right path. We understand the challenges we are in, and we all blame the leadership. And through that, when we revisit the history of other countries who gained independence, they went through challenges that we are undergoing as South Sudanese. But the question still remains, we cannot compare ourselves with those countries who gained independence in 1960s, 1970s, because we gained independence in 21st century, and we gained independence at the time when technology is moving at the jet speed, of which being young as the country cannot justify the things that we are doing currently, politically. Of course, but being young cannot make you mess up the country. It should be the other way around. It should make things right. What happened to the president, Abraham Adit? Personally, I have different perspective on two accounts. I listened to the speech of the president. And when I listened to his speech very keenly, I came to realize that our president's ability to read is deteriorating. And what might have caused that? It trickled down to his personal health.
I have a joke. Your network's cut off again. Okay, bear with us. The joke is having a network issues. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Majoke. You can open if you.
Yep, thank you, Abraham. To our viewers and the audience, I apologize. Yeah, I was saying, if you look at the speech of the president, you could easily tell that his personal health is deteriorating. That was not the president we know for the last 10 years. And something is wrong. And when video or video clip surfaced on social media when he was walking, and then people picked that as a point of mocking him. Culturally, we were told to respect elders, and we were taught to respect elders. Not only in Dinka, even among 64 tribes in South Sudan, respect for elders is eminent. And no any single tribe in the world that encourages young people to disrespect elders. I don't think if there is such a tribe. Holding all factors constant, one can go back to the norms of the society and respect our president for that matter. Second reason to why people should respect the president is not because he's an elder only. Abraham did put it very correctly. that president is symbol of unity. President represent and carry the image of the country or the society he is or she is leading. Despite the differences, we can all agree, whether being oppositions or government supporter or on the neutral ground, we can all agree that president represent the image of South Sudan. And through that, Abraham Adit and the viewers and the audience in the clubhouse bring me back to the questions of whom should we blame other citizens. We have acknowledged the fact that president is an elder. President has spent almost his entire life in the bush, like another generals in our current government. We agree that president is a symbol of unity and represent the image of South Sudan. Then what allowed people not to pay close attention to the president's personal life? That is where I come to blame the family members and the political party of the SPLM. To be honest, Abraham Adit, it is not sign of weakness to delegate powers to your subordinate. In leadership or in management, delegation of powers is another way of exercising and demystify your responsibilities as a leader. President Kiir, if people know that president is not in a good shape or in a good standard now to speak and even to walk, then the priority should be his personal health. People should pay attention to him, call his personal doctors, and give him whatever medication he deserves. And meanwhile, if there are things that are happening for the country that need representation of South Sudan, then what is the use of those 5 vice presidents? And currently we have 4, if we omit the one who is under trial, that is the first vice president, Dr. Machar. What is the use of Mamarabega? What is the use of Taban Dengai with his energy? What is the use of Dr. Wan Iga, although he is also deteriorating basically on his aging? What is the use of another vice president, I think Josephina? So these people should be used by the president to represent his interests or represent the country. And if president does not trust those 5 vice presidents, then he can delegate one of the special envoys. We have one which was representing South Sudan in the Middle East, that is Ambassador Monica. We have Adut on a special program. So president can delegate Adut to go and represent the country. That one is simple and nobody can complain about that. What we need as the citizens of South Sudan is somebody that will represent our image, that can reconcile with our norms as the country, and that will make other countries respect South Sudan. So I don't know what the family is looking at. Sometimes in our culture, men don't admit that I'm weak at this particular point. But it is a duty of the close family member to look after you and tells you, Mr. So-and-so, please, we need you to rest a little bit. So-and-so will do this duty. So, to me, I blame the family and the close, especially the advisors to the president. The reason being, any step or anything President Kiir said represent 15 or 13 millions of us. Other people will not look at it like president is not well. They will look at it that president of South Sudan is incapable or incompetent of articulating the issues affecting his country. Although people are very much aware, this thing has not happened to President Kiir alone. Abraham, did you give examples of the former president of US, Joe Biden? I remember very well in 2025 or 2014, 2024, Joe Biden fell down in front of the crowd when he was about to walk to the podium to address one of the public holidays. And no any single media outlet use it against President Joe Biden. And you stated very clearly, US is the first world country, in fact, it's number one country in the world, that you can speak any nasty thing against a leader and nobody will bother you. They have what they call freedom of speech. But there is simple thing that guide all of them, that presidents represent the image of United States of America. Even Donald J. Trump, that man is a different human being. He is speaking a very vulgar language. But there is no single day you have ever seen anybody from US citizens abusing him, mocking him because of the things that he said. What they respect most is America. So to South Sudanese, I think we should respect the country called South Sudan. Even if we don't respect President Kiir, let's respect our country. And through respecting your own country, then you are doing your legitimate duty as the citizens, not as an idiot. Politically, we know there are things that you can speak. President Kiir is not doing right. There are 1,000 things that you can even mention. Within one, there is no point. So lastly, Abraham Adit, I don't know whether the family members will always listen to our conversation, especially here on social media. But on my personal note, I will try whatever mean I could to get anybody close to the family of President Kiir and send them my message. If they don't look at the health of the president, then the whole family will pay the ultimate price if President Kiir leaves that power. They will be victims like other South Sudanese who are victims currently. So let's always respect the leaders and be objective in our criticism. This is what I can say, Abraham, but otherwise, let's not mock leaders based on their health or based on their aging. President of Cameroon, Paul Boya, the man could not even, when he attended the African Union, he could not even recognize himself that he is at Africa, at the, what do you call an United Nations General Assembly meeting. The man had to be given almost 15 minutes to his struggles, put together his feelings and his brain in order to speak. Sometimes you could not even barely walk. And none of the citizens from Cameroon, despite the challenges Cameroon is going through, has ever come out to mock him, not even at the world stage. Even President Yorkaguta Museveni is struggling with the same challenges. And you know how Ugandans are so bitter about him. Even the presidents of Equatorial Guinea. There are several presidents in Africa. If you Google, you'll find the top 5 oldest presidents in Africa. President Kiir is not among the 5. So sometimes let our criticism be guided by humanity, ethics, integrity, and patriotism. Through that, you will always be objective. You will always know when to say it and what to say it as the citizens of that country. President Kiir will leave anytime, but South Sudan will never leave. Thank you and stay blessed.
Thank you so much, Brother Bijomakum Malak. You're absolutely right, because that's absolutely what we want to let the family of President know, that President, you guys need to see the welfare of President health. It's very important. Because the attacks that go toward the family member of the family, especially the way the way they are showing a picture, how she put his head down and cover his face and his head. They are doing propaganda about that image, you know. And that thing is alone, you need to be the family of president need to look into this, because president has his priority. Okay, we don't want to see president something bad happen. And also, too, if there are the people, the advisor around the president, they need to see the welfare of the president. Don't put your power, greediness above everything that president stands for. President is image for our nation, and is image for the SPLM. SPLA is one of the survivors that survived during the 21 years of war. All his colleagues has gone. Okay, and he's the one who remain. Even 4 of them are the one who remain right now. Him, Waniga, and Kwalmanyang, and Wanakut. 4 of them. Okay, and we want to see them not to leave times too soon. They have to stay there so that they can give advice and to the next government that coming along. And for this political elite that who are around the president, know that president has is not good. They have to come out and to do something. And the people who will get through this is the family of president. Adu Salva Kiir Mayardit, you are one of the persons. I see how active you are, present the image of our country. You doing a good job. This is the time for you to step up. Sit down, call the family meeting. Family bang, why bang it? Stock up quite a bit. Work family bang, why you bang it? Could jam to carnage. Jan Ben Wobe at that. Randy Pichen put on the dark yard, warm pin, when we hear wrong advice. Please. Adu Salva Kiir, Kiir Babadu, number 1. Then the power. So can a message when you have a level family president. So can in the image when even so this is the message that I just want to convey to the family of the president. And those and that's SPLM party, political party. The SPLM party, you guys need to come special the SG, Comrade Akol Paul. You guys need to do a better job. Okay. So that is a message that I want to give. Let me give this chance to Tonanywa. Tonanywa, welcome. Yeah, Tonanywa, you can go ahead, open your mic. So
yes, Madid Majak.
Yeah,
I can hear.
Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, Tonanywa, how do you think about this for the last 36, 24 hours, the mockery of president? That's what we are condemned this individual doing that. Go ahead.
Well, Madid Majak, it's shocking. It's very shocking. So to begin with, not anybody from any country, it's people of South Sudan, and especially those who claim to be opposing the leadership, those who claim to be against the system, those who claim that the country is not going the way it's going. These very people are the people who are ethnocentric. These are the very people who are using, or should I say, for lack of a better word, beating the drum of tribalism. Those who are formed tribal-led parties. Those who are fighting and toiling day and night, not to do anything better, but to remove the regime they claimed. And so, what do you expect from people who are against the system, Madid Majak? even if the country is doing better, you hear opposition saying wrong thing. And we are not surprised that anything can be used, anything can be said anytime, any 0 hour. And I think I was listening to Sunday. Was that Sunday who was speaking a bit earlier?
It's Major Marco.
His message was very clear, and I concur with him, so to speak, to comment on what he said before I come on and put on my own 10-cent contribution. I certainly agree. I mean, if you look around in the world, the founding fathers of certain countries, the liberators of certain countries, and whom are by age are a bit old, and somehow because of their age, because the age has actually consumed their time and space, there is at some point, they go through something, and we don't see a level of mockery at the way we are seeing it in our country, especially the oppositions. I mean, how old is Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, Majak? How old Paul Biya? If you look at Paul Biya, if you look at Bola Tinubu, and the list could go on in other part of the countries, other African countries. You don't see this level of hatred. You absolutely don't see this level of hatred, Majak. We only see in our country, and by extension, we see people who are very illiterate, who are consumed by a tribal conundrum, and this is highly punishable by either the image of the president, or you use video and you begin to comment in a mockery manner. That is, remember the cybersecurity law, the bill that last year, Majak, that bill was not just there for fashion. That bill was not only introduced for president, it is introduced for the country at large, and then to safeguard and to protect the image of citizens, on the internet. But imagine, for some reason, I think do not know how to use media, and in this case, how to use internet. They have used internet in a very wrong way, because such kind of comment is actually pernicious. It's very pernicious, and after little, if for any reason you're found, you'll be in trouble. Because, I mean, what would you say if you have shared the content that is mockery in nature, and if you have shared the content and the comment you have made under that content is albeit pernicious, what will you say? What will you tell the law? See, sometimes when people are caught and are being deported, you know what we hear? Oh, it's because articles people, they are very, very tribalist. And that the law does not interfere with, not only in South Sudan. You have seen the cyber security and counter security bill in Kenya that was brought on board in 2024. You can hear how many of these, the so-called social media activists or the content creators that are using certain imagery, and created videos in the names of creating content, but actually it's used to mock certain people. The activists, the so-called activists, who are tribal-led activists, they are behind bars. You'd be very surprised, if I pull out a list of people being close to 200 in Kenya as we speak. That kind of list does not exist in South Sudan. We don't see up to around even 20 or even 10. But of late, how many people are abusing the presidency on social media, especially on Facebook and on Twitter? I mean, on TikTok. How many people have created content saying a lot of wrong things against the country and in particular the president and the family? How many Junubin that are within an what you call tribal-led articles, not even opinion articles? These things are highly punishable. So, what I'm trying to say here, these are not rocket science. These are just very simple things that the law can get you. The law can get you even in the US. Remember, Marit Majak, a certain law that have come up right now that if you are to come to US, either on a visit or on an academic referral, they have to check your social media account. You have to submit your social media account. And these include Twitter, it includes your professional site like LinkedIn, it includes your Facebook page, it includes, so to speak, if you do have a TikTok, and these are supposed to be verified before you would be, given a visa. Why is it so? Why is America, making sure that this becomes a procedure before you're given a visa? It's because people have begun to use their social media handle page very wrongly. But if there's difference between a political opinion piece and ethnicized or rather politicized and derogatory in a sense. For some of us who have been in the media for years, I've been in commentary and I've been editing opinion pieces, whether in the newspaper or in journals. There are what you call the commentary. The commentary column that is given to the editors. There's a reason for that, because let's say a newspaper, a publication house has got a stand, and they'll have to make it very clear that this is our stand. For commentary, a daily commentary or even a weekly commentary, for some by extension, which is sometimes it's a monthly publication like the Continental, for instance, the editors has to look through it. This is a professional setting. The editor has to make sure the articles that are sent, the opinion pieces that are written, the columnists that contributes every time, that these pieces are well read, well summarized. If you were to put it, it's well written to fit the context and the content of the in-house policy of that particular publication house. These are not just done for fashion, they are done to make sure that they follow the rules and regulations. Having an issue, either with the president politically, your opinion, if it is ethnicized or is mixed with hatred, you carry across. These laws, it's not about South Sudan, it's everywhere in the world. Okay, so this level of hatred, and then I think as my good brother who spoke before me has rightly put it. While you might begin to hate the president, the current president of the country, he is human. He is human, absolutely, and anyone can feel ill. And he is not immortal, definitely. His time will come and he will leave, and this country called South Sudan will be there in the next 50 years. Even us who could be half of us, or even a quarter of us remaining. To be very fair and to be very honest in the presence of God, but many of us will not be here. We'll all leave. But what the hatred? Yeah. What the hatred? If you think that you are fairly educated or financially educated, don't you have the right way to use education? I mean, this, in generalization, so to speak, that so many of us, absolutely nonsense. And to make it worse, some people are even using ChatGPT, that they're putting in their opinion using AI-generated content. And these are very little. It's against the law. And if you're caught and if you're deported, or if for any reason you're made to answer to the nonsense that you have made, I mean that you have either published or posted, you begin to cry foul. That why me? I have not done this. And if you are told that please, this nonsense that you're doing would one day hunt you badly. But this world is too small. Even if you're writing under the water, you'll be consumed by shark or a whale. Even if you're a lion in the jungle, who is the king of the jungle, so to speak, one day a lion will just succumb to death. And he will go. So what I'm trying to see, what I'm seeing here is people, they are praying, they're saying a lot of things that they would want Salva Kiir to leave just in a day. If Salva Kiir is no longer, President Salva Kiir is no longer in the seat at the moment, there will be somebody going there. Someone will definitely occupy that space. And the life will continue. Are so yearning and they're very thirsty that Salva Kiir should leave any 0 hour. You wait for election, my friend. Wait for election. I mean, who haven't tried it? That they want to remove him by force and by fire. And until tomorrow, we are still here talking. The president is still in the seat, in the driving seat. And those who are trying very hard through the name, I mean, they'll still be trying until tomorrow. But to what justification, Madin Majak? We have seen those who are trying. They have caused skirmishes here and there. They have brought a heavy toll on the civilians. Poshy sort of shots. You come with your pocky shots, tactic, and tap before the civilian has left the area. They have run into the bushes. And then you're not there. You said you want to liberate by gun and by bullet and by fire, but you're not there. Just 320 of you, and you're not anymore. And you're back to the bush. And then you're saying that you want to change the regime. I've seen that in the pockets of the Equatorian region. We have seen that seamlessly in some areas in the Baraka Kazal, but that is not getting any water either. And then the operation in Greater Jungle is said now, suddenly people are making too much noise. You not. the only thing you will do is actually increase the humanitarian situation to the civilians, because it's them who suffer, not those that have guns. And so the meeting in Addis Ababa was in the interest of the country. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's in the interest of the country. The head of state have met, they have sat down. The focus was on South Sudan, and the country has made it very clear through the representative, and in this case, the president. In the C5, some of you have got the excerpt. I mean, the excerpt of that discussion. Some of us, we have seen that. That year towards election, the committee that was formed in Juba weeks ago was to sit down and to see how would this country, how would it be done so that we're able to move on. Yeah. And a country called Kenya, for example, a country called Kenya, Madid Majak, if the late Raila Amolo Odinga wasn't someone who really didn't want, who didn't love this country called Kenya, and who, if he had wanted to destroy Kenya, the Luos would have destroyed that Kenya. And I'm speaking for a fact. Raila Amolo Odinga has gone for years, have run more than 5 times, and he won twice, very clearly, turned violent. Had he not informed the Luos and said, no, this is enough, we are not supposed to destroy this country because the elections were rigged, this country is much more big. A coalition government was done, but in the other election, in 2013 and later on 2017, that the election was turned and null, and then the re-election was called by the court. First time in history of the Africa. And why? It's because they learned that actually destroying the nation is not a solution. Because one person lost or one person have an ambition for presidency, for Christ's sake. Okay? So what did they do? They sat down and they sorted things out. That are position tasked. And that's why we are here. Because they don't think about the people, they think about their own brain. And these are the very people that you want us to go for them. These are the very people who are resorting to guns. These are the people that are resorting to guns, and you want us to go for them? How pathetic that would be. There was no reason for conflict whatsoever. You see, Junubin are very clever. You think they're not? They're very, very clever. And part of the reason why all around Equatoria and around other communities are not subscribing to taking up the gun is not because they're not. It's not because they're foolish. No, they're not. It's not what they want. What they want is they need service. And if the service is not coming, they're going one day to come together and pressurize the government, not by gun. The country was almost reaching there, coming together. But then you have people who are using the tribal lane to achieve their agenda, and that is proving very, very, very bad. The results are out right now. The results are very pernicious. It's not good. Yeah? You would dramatically pick up guns and think you'd want to change this country called South Sudan that came out of guns. I think you need to be put in a class, and then they should lecture you how this country came about. So if you think you want to remove it by gun, you're so mistaken. You're very, very mistaken. It will take you years. Or even your grandchildren will never achieve it. And so what's going to happen is this, and this is what I would say as my recommendation, that the media space, while there's freedom freedom of expression, you have right to say what you want to say, but you have no right after you have said what you have said, especially when what you have said is not, it's stepping on someone's toe. The freedom of expression is Article 24 of our transitional constitution. But remember, after you have said it, there's no freedom after what you have said, because it depends on what you have said. If you abuse me without justification, I'll go for your head. I'll report a case. You'll be on odd soup. How would you defend that if you have no evidence? Okay. And so cybersecurity built on the use of the internet, what you call interfering and misuse of the internet, the bullying, the espionage, and many others. These laws have to become effective. This is what I would say. The internet. Other countries are very strict on this. You can never do this nonsense. In the Western countries, you can never do it. You can never begin to circulate videos of the president and then you're putting a lot of abusive words there. You'll be in trouble. You can't do that in Australia. You can't do that in UK. You can create a content of comedians, yes, but not in a certain instant. There are levels where you cannot do some certain things. So Junubin, I don't know whether they are foolish or their brain is working. Some of these people that are just writing a lot of reckless articles or rather reckless postings because they hate the hatred will be categorized as hate speech. And you can be caught under a misinformation or even disinformation or uninformation, so to speak. And so these laws have to begin to work. It has to begin to work. It's high time it begins to work. Because we have been a bit so lenient on people that are misusing the cyberspace. For me, every human deserves their respect. Age, physical appearance, whether they are physical challenge or visual impaired, they deserve that respect. Because in terms of health, they're not doing well, and then you begin to use that to mock him, laugh at him, and to say a lot of words that doesn't make sense. That in itself, even the God you think that you serve will never take it easy on you. Your time will come. Your time will come. So for me, enough with the hatred. And the law must take its course. It doesn't matter where you are in this world. And right now in America, they're reporting people who are very reckless, who are recklessly saying a lot of nonsense. So you think you're in the US, you can be deported anytime. It's not very difficult, by the way. It's not. Just remember this. You are told to cease from writing a lot of unhealthy articles. Be a responsible citizen. Criticize positively. It is criticize with points and solutions, not just what you call a vague criticism. If you're educated and you carry some semblance of accreditations towards your name, you know what is positive criticism. Because your intention is to have a change in the country, not to divide the country, or not rather to make the country collide against the citizens of the country. You collude them together. So positive criticism is accepted in every space. But negative criticism that carries semblance of tribalism and that is ethno-political sentiment, those things are not needed. Those things are absolutely not needed. It has no space. So the laws, the bills that were passed last year, it has to be effective. It has to be effective, very effective. And the Minister of Information and Communication and Postal Service under Honorable Atai Wagate, and the Media Authority under Elijah Alier, and I think it's still the one, unless otherwise he has been. The telecommunication companies that are not making their laws strict under the NCA, the National Communication Authority, and by extension the media houses, the responsible media houses, all these people need to make sure that they follow the laws to the letter. But then when we come to the amateurs, writers, people are learning to write because now they know how to speak English and know how to read English. Somehow they think that they can write. They need to be reminded that, hey, listen, in case you've forgotten, the law is here. And we're just reminding you that you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're supposed to be within here, not outside this line. So for me, I can debate any opposition. Positive debate. The opposition, we're asking them questions every time here that what are you going to bring on board? If you look at the formation of your party, it's all one community left. What are you talking about? And how do you intend to change? Some of them that are saying the IG are only one tribe, that's a lie. That's a big lie. That's a big lie. Are you telling me in the SPLM there's no Didinga? Are you telling me in the SPLM there's nobody from Abukaya? In fact, I have a lot of Abukaya friends, Kwaka friends. Some who are here and they're saying they're even politicians. They don't even have a command of speaking languages. Who in this forum, and it's very good that this gentleman called Denbol is here. I don't know how many languages he can speak that he can command the entire country. But I speak my own Anuak language. And I speak Dinka, and I speak Nuer, and I speak Peri. I understand Toposa because I have lived in Kakuma, because I speak a very good command of Turkana. I understand Murle by extension. And if I understand Murle, I do not have too much trouble to listen to somebody speaking in speak Peri. I don't have any problem with Acholi. I have no problem with Cholo. I have no problem with Nuo Barakazal. I have no problem with the Anuak where I come from. And the Balanda board by extension. And if I speak Dinka, commandly, I listen to every language of Dinka, which part of Dinka you come from. And I understand where.
So can you be president because of that?
No. I'm not saying I'm going to be president.
Yeah, then it's irrelevant because you use it as a qualification.
Listen, I'm trying to make you understand this fact, unless you have the knowledge deficit, then what?
No, I don't. You said you can debate anyone. I am here to debate you when you said that people like me can't even speak 2, 3, 4, 5 languages, and you went on to list as if that's the qualification of a president.
Full randomly a collective of friends and people that I know from this community that speak about. So how many do you know?
You said people like Dengbol here. How many people can they command all over the country? You're listening to yourself, right? I mean, you said them. I'm just responding to what you say.
Now can you speak? Let's go verbatim. How many can you speak now that you open your mouth?
I speak Dinka. Is that a problem? Can I not be president of the country, or can I not lead a political party because I only speak Dinka?
Lead Dengbol, go ahead. Stop speaking at one. Go ahead.
Okay, let us give a chance to Jackson, and then you Dengbol and Tonanyo, you guys react. Let us give a chance because Jackson is on the line, and then you Dengbol. So let's give a chance to Jackson. And then Dengbol, you are next, and then you can interact with Tonanywa. And it's good that you are here, Dengbol, because I wrote some of, I hope you read the article I read this morning. Go ahead, Jackson. Jackson, are you there?
Yes. And
yeah, Wasel, yeah.
Yeah,
let her be mindful with time.
I just went and turned and drove down the TV because the TV was a little bit loud. Yeah, thank you, Madit, Majak, Lautal Fursa, giving me the chance in your room. And I also want to thank your guests, Tonanyuak, Majak, and Dane, Operation, Dictor Dular John, or Lamunu Malay, if I didn't pronounce your name correctly, Biel, Sudani, and all our brothers and sisters that are in your room, Brother Madit. A topic is really a good topic, genuine topic. And I have a question topic, which is President Kiir can only be removed fair election, not by mockery. I will talk. First, I just want to let everybody know that I'm in opposition, and I'm SPLM, which is, I believe in objective and ideology between SPLM, and that's why I choose to be real SPLM, because they don't have a big difference. The big difference is just we see and we believe that the agenda and the ideology and the manifesto of SPLM never and haven't been until now been implemented in the way that we as the South Sudanese, we fought 21 years, and at the time when our founder leader, Dr. John Garang, who was alive, he said a lot of things, and he left a lot of examples that there is a social contract. The social contract was when the civilians, women, elderly people, young people were doing their best to support the SPLM, because in those days we didn't have anything, resources, and nobody were there to help us through the chicken that we had from our civilians, the cows, the goats, shurgum, food, dura, lubia, whatever our people had, they supported the movement because they knew that the movement was for them. And the movement objective was to freedom from the Northerners' domination. That was the objective. And that's why I believe that, and I will always be SPLM, because I believe that we invested daily in SPLM. And that's why I still believe in SPLA, and I know that maybe people lost the way, but the ideology is not lost, because you cannot lose the ideology. If people were supposed to lose the ideology, then we wouldn't have today Abraham Traore. Sankara had ideology, and he died 30 or 40 years ago, and a new young man come up with the same ideology. Dr. John Garang died, but ideology of Dr. John Garang will never die. And I believe that ideology will never die. And that ideology that brought us together strong as all Junubin during the difficult time. We never had a tribe. During those days, people who were in front line, they were not calling themselves who, they all called themselves comrades. Because it is only your brother who is with you in front line is the only brother that will look after your back and protect you and look after you. And if you are shot, he will carry you until you get treatment. So that objective, and I still believe in it. Let's come to mockery of president. Yes, until I know after Mr. Pagana Mom, which is the leader of Real SPLM, by mistake, ma asilium gal ayya jagalat will shetam will insult president. Ubugulu, President Kiir, my President Kiir. The respect, Bitana. This is where all we come from. Nini Jinubin. Yes, after President Kiir Amalakta. Yes, Mukane Amalakta, but we cannot disrespect him or insult him. We can talk on terms. Al-Akta Luga de Amulu. We are Anada. Whenever I go everywhere, when I talk, I will always say, I wish and I hope that always that Mr. Kiir has a master key. He can fix Sudan in one night or in one day and in 1 minute. But also, if he doesn't want to fix it, that will be the for me to be disappointed because he got everything in his hand. But I never, by mistake, one day insulted President Kiir. I always wish and I always say that I wish if President Kiir was a dictator who is a nationalist. The reason why I said I want a president, a dictator who is a nationalist, you put your people first, your country first, the interests of your people and your country first. Make sure that the reason why you are a president and the reason why we call you a leader and the reason why we vote for you is to look after us. Give us the little that we want, we expected from you to deliver, to give us. This is what we were all hoping. And this is my problem. Only problem was President Kiir. I don't care if he's a dictator, but be a dictator who can deliver, who can put me first. Lano, without me, you wouldn't be there. Without Chab, the Sudan, Alanela Janin, Machine Arianin, Maladini Haja, Lukan Mahum, President Kiir wouldn't be there where he is. These people put their life, their heart, their everything supported Salva Kiir until he became a president, until we vote for secession, we become an independent nation, to sharp the Sudan. How did President Kiir forgotten that all within just a second? Shabatana Buga Mindum, Ayaja, Mindum Rawatu, and guess what? Still they're fighting in front line. And you ask yourself, you don't have a salary. You don't have anything. You don't even have a shoes. You don't have even a food. And you're still fighting. You ask yourself, those who are fighting, what are they fighting for? It's an option. I know what they're fighting for. Those who are fighting, they still believe in ideology of John Garang. We fought to have this country and to make sure that this country remains. And we are proud of it because we die for it and we have to maintain it. They know that they are not having anything, but they still just say we don't want to lose it. Because if we lose it, that what was the reason of 21 years of war. But above that, some ways. And to be honest, these are the people that Salva Kiir trust mostly dearly. They are the one who destroy him, destroy his image. These are the people must destroy him and destroy his image. Because these people, they're in mal for them to empower themselves, look after their family wherever they are, but they don't care about the president. You know the situation with the president. Taban, what the Sabitato Marquis. Why did you want to give up Bidamnas? They should have. What is the Minister of Foreign Affairs is doing? What are they doing? Mafruti Guliaki, president is not feeling well. Chief Sultan Yamchi, Muslim. Is it a crime? It's not a crime. The president is not feeling well until he recovers. But now he's not feeling well. ما مشكلة لكن ليه بس يجرجروا ده واحد. نمرة 2 حتى الأكسيدنت اللي كان أصل اليوم ده ستيل برجع للناس الماو in a circle. They know that president is sick. كان يعملوا تجهيزات كتير كان جاي كله ما أصل. But because they're only after their interests, and there's some even the one in Uzol in Tebesura for them to take over. President in Tebesura and for them to take over. Because I'm saying this, there's some people who are saying, why do you care? Kali mood Besura عشان مشكلة جنوب السودان ينتهي. المشكلة جنوب السودان ينتهي ممكن ينتهي. لكن president كي ممكن يموت عليها. But do we think that مشكلة بتاعنا بينتهي؟ كان كير مات؟ المشكلة بتاعنا ما بينتهي. المشكلة بتاعنا لازم اننا نقبل نفوسنا كلنا جنوبين انه نينا جنوبين بلد ده بلد بتاعنا ما في جنوب اعلى من جنوب الثاني ما في جنوب اقل من جنوب الثاني وبعدين ما في قبليه ما بودينا قدام اوكي كبر القلب انه ياك كل شيء يكون عليه بس ولا كل شيء يكون للكوميونتي هذا بس ما بودينا قدام اوكي that's the problem until we come to that understanding نينا ما نمشي اي مكان. For example, ما نشوف لي جلابه معبود جاء عبود ما كويس نمير جاء نمير ما كويس منو جاب ما كويس بشير جاب ما كويس. The same thing يصير في جنوب السودان. في النهايه الشمال السودان وقف في كارثه لانه هم ما قادرين يقبلوا الحقيقه. انه الحقيقه ده يا جماعه قرن قالهم انه يا جماعه الحقيقه ده لازم نقبل نفوسنا. لو ما قادرين نقولوا نينا افارقه خلاص نكلوا اجي اسمه اوروبا نكلوا اجي اسمه افريقيا. نار نفوسنا بس سودانيين. Let's look after ourselves, put our people first, our country first, our interests first. And we should tell the Arab enough, عشان ده ما بقول لا 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 نينا ما دير عرب ولا نينا ما افريقيا. But let us be Sudanese. It was rejected. And John Garang gave a lot of وصايا للجنوبين. يا جماعة بلد المايندو شعب قوي ما هيمشي قدام. بلد المايندو حكومة قوي ما هيمشي قدام. حكومة ماشي بطريقته شعب ماشي بطريقته. حكومة ما داير to look after his citizen بتاعهم بقى weak ما لاقين أي حاجة. And then it will تسأل نفسك what is going on? What do we lack? We have everything. ناس confused Salva Kiir. They are the supporters of Salva Kiir and the inner circle of Salva Kiir هم اللي دمروا جنوب السودان ودمروا Salva Kiir معهم. Don't say it's opposition. Opposition will just talk about the wrongdoing. ياكي ما في رواتب صح في رواتب ياكي ما في مستشفيات ما في شوارع تشوف بتاع الopposition بقول لك الحقيقة اوكي هل الopposition lying? Yes there is no شوارع yes there is no مدارس yes there is no رواتب ما في علاجات اللي عنده قروش يا بمشي دبي بمشي يوغندا يمشي يلدي هناك والمساكين بموتوا بالملاريا وبالتايفود في جنوب السودان. Why? كلام ده كله فيه حاصل كلام ده صح ولا غلط؟ ده صح. ده صح إنه كلام ده صح. ده opposition.
يبقى كلوب هاوس ولا يستديو يجي.
Government supporter. أو إنت الإنر سيركل بتاع government تفكيرك.
Okay, اللي ببان بقول تاو يا كاميرا off.
هو يتكلم ولا إيه؟
اللي ببان.
Okay لازم يكون في رواتب. ليه ما في رواتب؟ كان في رواتب. ليه هذا ما في؟ Something wrong. ليه ما في شوارع؟
أقول ولا كي كان جنبان ده بقول منو ولا بورنال
للأدوية للناس. Something wrong. So you identify that there's something wrong that need to be fixed.
Okay.
لكن لا ياك هدوك إنت وزير بتاع المالية أكلت قروش كله. هدوك إنت قروش تترك أكلت قروش كله. هدوك إنت وزير بتاع منو أكلت قروش كله. راس مالك يكون شنو تلقى لكن they confuse Kiir and I'm sure they even sometimes drug him عشان يمضي حاجات وما بيعرفوا and in the circle ده they drug President Kiir they drug him they are responsible they drug him يدلوا حاجات ذات ما بيعرفوا بس عشان يمضي حاجات and the money to be looted to be laundered out of the country. These are people, and President even said that I don't have anybody around. The people that I have around me, they could not be talking. But why can't he send these people out? Because they are tracking him. Whatever he thinks, that they are mulo mukadarat, they are mulo, عشان هو ما يفكر عشان يشيل المجرمين اللي في جنبه ده عشان بلد يمشي كده. It is true. Why would the president take a nation to bring money back, not Salva Kiir? Maybe that is under intimidation by gangsters surrounding him. That is being intimidated. This possibility. Lanita mamun kinita race, tum kita shad nas inu arjo gurush. Yak ana nasha da glay ni tarjo gurush to sarat ita haram ya bi. Bedekla fisikin, bishulu minnak begu wala ita ma daro bishulu minnak bedekla fisikin. How can you are a president to come and beg a thief? A thief have only two options. Talga farasu, fijin, wala fishari. Uma yarja tani. Something wrong with J1. There's something wrong fishy with J1. He leaves Salva Kiir Gidam Machi Taban. He leaves Gidam Mchi Jibu Gidam Mutama. And there's some people who are trying to frame other people for it. And the problem is in J1. People want to get rid of him. People want to show him to the international community that he's not longer fit for them to take whatever they want to take. Why are you blaming other people? Nasser Beshite yes, he's wrong. Mata Shite Mokir. But go and Hakta. Bitao. When Hakta of the J1, let us talk about Hakta of the J1. But we shouldn't abuse him, insult him. And you know, Rabona, Mati Shetim, Mati insult your elder Bitata. Lana Bukra, you will be in a position. Kulema Bukra Nakbaru. Munuma Bakbar. Kuluna Nakbaru. And no self Mara Bitata. They will not mut Kuluna Namutu. So Yajama, Itanamundukun Siasi. Yakita use a politic in the right way. But don't mix politics with insult. Okay? Don't mix politics with insult. Mata shitim rais. Ita zata mata shitim rais. Ita ma siyasi. Lani ita siyasi kef. Bukura to give Gidamas kef when you insult the president. And one day you want to be a president and you insult the president. And one day you want to be a politician and you insult the president. How will people look at you? And how will people value you? They cannot. And Ninafi, real Aspelam, we are not for that. We respect President. Pagana Mom respect President. Always, we should feel President there. Lano Biar, Al Kadmat, Bitakiro Amalu, or in Jazat, Bitakiro Amalu, will movement Maruf. Okay, Maruf. Lufia Taja Asal, Fizon Batariasa, Lano Zamontariasa, Finance advisor. People will give you wrong advice. Confused. And Kir was given a wrong advice. But Rabuna Mau, Lanu can solve Batal, can Katal Nas, Shaf, they can Katal Junusuran, can Chenak Nas. But he's a man who is a Catholic. Refused to kill. Ata Yumalela Kir Ma Chenak Zol. Ma Katal Fire Scott Frazol, Talga Keda Frazol. He would have done it. But this all, he believes in God and woman that also trouble. Lanu Catholic. Making free confusion. And confusion that, believe me, is from J1. Well, confusion that from the some of supporter of Kiir Mayardit and Aspelam, not Mabishu, Muslim at shop, Muslim at Dolo. Lana Lelana Loshav race with Tatimaja Matrega Kala. Mana Anabulia race, Piaja Kala. It is not a problem. Lanu, this is what we need for our party to be respected, to be seen as we are doing something good, and for us, next time we will give another chance, or we will rule as long as we want, because they're not Lanu, they are providing, they're giving us whatever we need. Why you want them to be gone? And they are doing good things. This is what Mufrud Asfel Yamulu. Well, Mushijirin but Asfel Yamulu. And sometimes when I see John Uchang after room, people tell them after room, did John Uchang, well, a Munumunu after room, don't get after room, did Munumunu. You're wasting your time. Instead of to look and do your own work. Why is these people are criticizing us, criticizing me? For what? Do they have a reason? or not? If they have a reason, go and work and fix that. And then now you will sit behind and say, hey, you were saying there is no road. We fix the road. You were saying there is no salary. People are getting their salary. So now what can you say? Instead, you know, that the kalam, the kalam, the zolu bugulu da hagiga, which are there to encounter. The kalam bugulu, which are kalam da hagiga. You're wasting your time. Okay? You're wasting your time. So, ana there nothing more than Gulma than Shilza and Katir, Anina for real asylum, Anina Miskil Vitana, Mal Asylum, Malasa, Malaji, land they are not doing a Talabat and Mufut, Almotin Yelga. Ulu Ajada Kulumashi Patrika, then what is our problem? We don't have a problem. A problem there in Basinu, a Shabe Yelga Stigma, Vitao. You do not go without. He is the Karama for Baladu. The Miskil Vitana Tarila Sela. Lo Aswela Maji got enough for Sajada. So what is our problem? We don't have a problem. We will say, well done. And we will join. Mine in a Miskila. Shukran.
Shukran, Ustaz Jackson. Thank you. Hang on, Sudani. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You guys, we are in. Yeah. Yes, Sudan.
Are you there?
Yes. Can you guys?
It should be Denbol. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Hey, Taranyak. Yes, sir, go ahead. You are the leading moderator right now. Could I look at what is going on in the comment section with this guy called Nas Nuer? Is that how the comment section should be, or should it be monitored, please? Because he's really insulting the president. Okay, thank you. And thank you, America 10, for paying attention.
Can you bring me up and General will drop down? Okay. Sorry, guys. So yeah, we have a lot of.
By saying my apologies to Tonanyuak because I interjected earlier.
Okay, the next speaker is Dengula, right? Speaker right now.
Talked a little bit back and forth. I was commenting on the statement that he had made, and that was due to the fact that he had mentioned my name, and I did not want to let that go unanswered, but I think it wasn't appropriate that I interjected. Maybe I should have just waited and respond to it when the time comes. I want to begin by quoting an African proverb, which says, and I quote, "When a leader does not address a problem well," again, when a leader does not address a problem well, the problem becomes the leader. Again, the problem becomes the leader, and the leader becomes the problem. I think this about sums up everything that is happening in the country. When a leader does not address a problem well, the problem becomes the leader, and the leader eventually becomes the problem. So, Jamana, what we are talking about here is a symptom. We are not even talking about the problem itself. We are talking about what is coming after.
I will can you mute yourself? I will mute
Yes.
yourself.
Hello? Okay. So, okay. So, with that said, I want to say one of the problems that we have here is that we are trying to address the problem more like the consequences, but not the root cause of the problem. The reason being, Jackson said, and I think he went through the history a lot, and he particularly blames Salva Kiir for the crisis, and especially falling short or being a loving dictator. If that's what he wanted. He wanted to be president forever. Then he needed to provide services. He needs to look out for people. He needs to protect people. There are many countries in this world that have been led by dictators. Sudan being one of them. Umar Hassan and Bashir perhaps did not do a lot all over the country, but he did well for the people that were with him. He did well for them. I had a chance to travel all over Sudan before the war, all the way to Dungula, Karima, all the way to Marawi, to Red Sea, and back to Khartoum. And it's well developed. They have everything. Tarmac road all over the place, airstrips and stuff. It's one example of a responsible dictator. Same thing to the ones that were in Libya, the ones that were in Egypt. Go to the Middle East. I lived in Jordan for some time, and it's ruled by a king, a wonderful man that I actually met in March last year in Germany. And I lived in Thailand, also ruled by a family, a king. I currently live in Japan, although it's a democratic country. It's also still maintain that system of having an empire or an emperor as we speak. Then we come to Ethiopia during the time of Menes Zenawi. I traveled around north, south, west, east, tarmac road everywhere. Ethiopian Airlines goes everywhere. They have hospitals. They have schools in all their villages and clean water. And while traveling from Gonda to Barada by road, I was like, wow, so this is what a dictator can give people. That is not what we're seeing in South Sudan. Even Moi was there for his people. For 24 years, the only people who hated him were the politicians because he was not allowing them. But he was providing for the people. To the point there was even milk in the schools. Schools in South Sudan are now closed. Even schools where there are no conflict are now closed. You come to Uganda, one of the most wonderful dictators of our times is Museveni. And he said it. He said even a fool can survive in Uganda because he made sure that there is at least basic rule of law for a fool to survive. He made sure that there is business and that you are not being robbed or being killed. That you, yourself, as a human being, your life is being protected, and that your property and your gains are being protected. Now, Museveni, after doing all this, he should have now known when to leave. Because, as they say, that a great dancer knows when to leave the dance floor. he forgot that he needed to leave. The last elections has actually started something now for Uganda. Uganda will never be the same again in the next 5 years. I understand he did not show up in Addis Ababa. And at the same time, back home, the elections were shown to be rigged on camera, to where people were just seated at the polling station, only ticking his name, ticking, the whole station, the polling station, doing that for him. So what happened? The European Parliament said that Museveni is no longer a partner and does not represent our values. And the fact that he jails his opponents is criminal. So what will happen? Now they will begin to have problems economically with Uganda. And that is where a lot of countries go wrong. When you forget that countries are interconnected, that you are not an island, that you just don't talk about sovereignty, without responsibility, without norms. And you forget that over 3 million South Sudanese are a burden on Kenya, Uganda, and Ethiopia, and you continue to talk about sovereignty, it shows that you're probably not thinking right. So, Uganda at this time is going to begin to have problems. And it is because of the attitude towards opposition. And because he has stayed for long, and that people have gotten tired, and his ideas are also tired and now limited. The country needs to move. So if we now go back to what I mentioned earlier about how he's been doing things, the opposition in Uganda have never had a chance in the 1990s and early 2000s because Museveni is very sharp. Whenever an opposition come up with a very good manifesto, he goes and takes that manifesto and he actually implements it. He said, all our people want is something good. I'll do it. Why not? He just started oppressing people recently because he ran out of ideas. And he cannot keep up with the world anymore. But otherwise, he was doing well. If you look at what is happening in South Sudan right now, is that President Kiir and his government have reached that stage where Uganda is. And President Kiir is now trying to copy everything that Museveni is doing. But it will not set well with the South Sudanese because we are not Ugandan. We are not raised like that. We are not that kind of people. Now, putting up a topic like this, like President Kiir can only be removed through elections. I mean, it raises a lot of questions. How many times have we talked about elections? Did they happen? Has any one of you ever formed a political party and tried to run it in South Sudan for a right to national security and ask for permission to hold a rally at Medan Simba? Sometimes when our people talk, it's as if they don't really know anything about what is happening in South Sudan. Or they don't even know the people themselves. People like me, who have sat with these people, who have chatted with them, who have argued with them, who have disagreed, on issues of policy understand that there is no political space in South Sudan. What happened in 2013 was a problem that was engineered to kill democracy. It was either democracy, the President Kiir's way, where he's first given something as his own, and then he competes with somebody on something else. You all know why and how the conflict began. It was within the SPLM, and it was based on nominations. And the president said, people must show up their hands. And the rest of the people said, no, SPLM is a democratic party. In order for it to lead a democratic nation, it has to be democratic. Therefore, it will be secret ballots. They said, yes, okay. But the president said, I have to be given a certain number of delegates to be assigned to him. I mean, democracy doesn't work like that. Democracy has no feathers. Democracy has no Zol Kabir. Democracy is democracy. And when that did not work, intimidation began. And that is how it ended up being a conflict. Going back to 75, Comrade Jackson, I have consulted with a lot of SPLM leaders, and it is confirmed that there is no list of 75. It does not exist. It was a list that was engineered, put together at Molana Tilar's office, and he was confronted by his colleagues in the SPLM, and he said, Jamana, it was something I was just told to do. This was in 2012 as a way to smear would-be challenges of the president, either in the SPLM or outside of the SPLM during the elections. The SPLM really wanted to hold elections in 2015. So by 2012, they had already started, which is the way elections are supposed to happen, 3 years out. Because elections are a manner of process. They're not events. So some of you talking here saying that elections are going to take place in December. Sometimes I really don't even like coming to Clubhouse, because people are basically joking and they just completely insulting the intellectual abilities of people. Elections will not take place in December. So by 2012, elections had already begun. And 2 years ago, it was very good. Now, that is what happened.
Denbol, your network.
To say you won't not legal. And one of these times in my prison.
Denbol, can you check your network? Your network breaking down. We cannot hear you.
No?
Yeah, check your network connection. Breaking up.
My network?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
Now your network is clear. Then your network is clear.
Oh. All right, thank you. 2021,
Thank you.
The president was sitting in front of us like this during the SPLM Youth League meeting. Event in J1. Sitting next to me was Golapo Yoy and Neria, yes, was sitting just like this, a few feet in front of us. saying, why are people in a hurry? Why can they not wait? Anybody wants this leadership can get it the same way I got it from Garang. Yeah, Jamana, can somebody talk like that? So, Jamana, times have changed. This is not the 1970s. This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. This is not the 2000s. It's different times. People want to live. People want opportunities. Some the people right now are in their 50s, 60s. The time is gone. Young people are growing up without schools, without opportunities. So people should not be asking why people are in a hurry. If there is one man who is sitting on top of every opportunity that every South Sudanese should have had, then that person should be questioned. Now, in all fairness, I do not think that anyone should be just insulted. That there's limit to insults. But if the insult is based on what you have done in a public space, meaning something that comes with your duty, it's no longer personal. I have written an article about this, and people still don't get it. If you are assigned to take responsibility of a certain job, and you misuse that money, you steal that money, and you call that person a thief, you are not insulting the office of the president, or the office of the minister, or the office of the DG. You are insulting or calling out, holding accountable, what you call an insult, the person. You cannot separate the individual with the position, because the person used the position to perhaps steal public funds. That's why you must always connect the name with whatever action that had taken place. So people in South Sudan want us to talk about corruption, but they don't want us to mention names of the people who are corrupt. And when you mention names, you are now being personal. Jamana, do you want to suffer for the rest of your life? That is how you hold people accountable. If somebody is actually said to be lying, that should be the question. You say that I have taken this. Okay, bring the proof. Or you take someone to court. But people should not say that you can say. No, you can say. But the other person should actually provide the proof. Another thing is basically about the condition in which the president is in at this particular time, which I think is the subject of this matter. Jamana, all of us here, we have worked. There are certain positions in my condition at this particular time that I cannot apply for because of my physical limitation. Physical limitation, not even mental. Physical limitation. I cannot apply for those jobs. Whether you want to join the military, whether you want to work in a hardware store, or you want to be a bus driver, or whatever, all of us here will undergo some scrutiny, will undergo some testing, and that is why Donald Trump continues to be taken to Walter Reed. for evaluation, including psychological evaluations. When Joe Biden shut down in the middle of a debate and could not talk, a few weeks later, he was actually pulled out of the campaign and was replaced.
Conclude, yeah?
Yes.
Numbers.
Okay, thank you. He was replaced. Why was he replaced? Because mentally, it wasn't possible for him to argue the point and to lead the country. I mean, to seek a second term. In President Kiir's condition, which did not just start now, and it is getting worse, it is as if it's a taboo. Why is a sickness a taboo? Why is getting old a taboo? It is something that anyone who loves Salva Kiir should be worried about, instead of imposing him on people and forcing him to suffer in front of people. I'm not going to talk about what happens when he's put in that situation. But just imagine, is this something that we can even sit and try to do something? Since there's no political family of President Kiir anymore responsible for him. If the SPLM was the one that was supposed to sit down, and I would have referred this to the SPLM, but I don't see that. He's now in the hands of the family, and all of us know. So please don't talk about any political party. We know how the government runs. And my last point is what Jackson said earlier, that President Kiir should have done whatever that he needed to do for the people of South Sudan and for the country, even single-handedly. As we speak right now, the whole country is in the hands of President Kiir and maybe his family. He has power to do whatever he wants to do. Power is this. Power is politics. Power is money. Power is security, diplomatic, okay? Security including army. President Kiir has all this without anybody saying anything. There is no parliament to check him. There's no party to check him. And there's no opposition to check him. Money does not go to where it can be given to all the other ministries, so that every ministry manages their own money for the project. It does not exist since 2018. And we know how the money is being used in South Sudan. So whatever it is that President Kiir wants to do in South Sudan for the good of the people and the nation, if he wanted to, he will do it. But he has refused to do any of this. And here we are talking. So it's just a very difficult time for South Sudan, because whenever you try to make sense, people deflect. When you try to say the president is no longer fit to govern, now you're being personal. And the president touches the lives of the people. This is not, we are not saying he cannot be a husband or a father to his family. That is his family. But the nation belongs to all of us. Why is it that we cannot have a say in what we have stake in, which is the nation? Even the embarrassment causes us in East Africa. First, it was within the East African community when he could not read well, and everybody was in pain. and now twice in Addis Ababa. This is enough for even the South Sudanese people to just say, yeah, the man,
okay.
Can you guys bring somebody else? That is all.
Okay, you will interact with people at Dengbol, so I would like you to turn on your and joke.
Just by bringing in things that are 100% ridiculous. The president is a president of the country. His position affects lives.
Okay. Dengbol, can you guys hear me?
Timing, come on, they
Okay.
have been talking for almost 30 minutes.
This
Okay.
time,
Okay.
people at war, all the schools, and all the children that are not going to.
Dengbol, can you hear
sorry,
me?
I have to mute you. I think you're told that your time is up, and then you said you want to conclude and see beginning of your submission. Apologies for that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but please, I think we should just like let the president rest at the manner. If this country belongs to everybody, we can't just let one person sit there.
Listen, Dengbol, it belongs to all of us. Yes, it is true.
It has become the source of conflict. Thank you.
Dengbol, with due respect, the country belongs to all of us, but that doesn't mean you have to talk for eternity. It doesn't translate to that. But also, respect for timing is very important. And I think that does not exist in your manifesto. You don't have time, do you? I want to make one correction.
No, just a moment. I'm not complaining about time. I don't.
Then we'll close your mic. That's why we'll go wrong. Close your mic. I want to make two corrections. First, we are not at the election campaign. So you need to wait for election time to come for you to do your campaign. This is not a space for campaigning. Everything you have been saying is more about you campaigning. And yes, if you want to remove Salva Kiir, wait for the campaign time. You'll have a space with your party and you can campaign online, offline. You can do that for 100 days, no problem. So you wait for the campaign time. Number two, you had explicitly mentioned 3 countries as a case, and I want to make a comment, very legit comment, and I think you might have forgotten. You're reading from a different scripture. You made, and he has made development in Uganda. Fair enough. I'll give you good examples regarding Uganda. But you also brought on board Rwanda, and you brought on board Ethiopia. And I know these countries to the latter, and I want to educate you on this, Denver. It sounds like somehow you think you're speaking to people who are not learned, who don't even know what's happening within the biosphere of these spaces. Uganda, that you brought an example, tell me how long had Museveni been in the state? Since 86. And tell me how and when did we legitimately see the development in Uganda? Take an example of northern Uganda. I will not talk about the southwest Uganda that is close to Rwanda. When the IDF, Islamic Defense Force, that were harassing at the borders between Uganda and Rwanda, and by extension, Burundi. I don't want to educate you on that. There has been a lot of skirmishes on that end. But let me take you to the LRA, to part of Uganda. Okay? Now, when the LRA has been causing the hidden lake in the northern part of Uganda, we have never seen any single development in Uganda, especially the northern Uganda. Do I need to educate you on that? Not until the SPLA together with the NRM.
Okay, guys, those of you watching in the Facebook and YouTube, you guys can join us in Clubhouse. The debate will continue going on there. So just go to Clubhouse and you will hear us there. Very well, I will close down the studio. So thank you, guys.